Hello everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, kung saan man kayo sa buong mundo, no? And Coach Brian here. Welcome to Rise Together, where we aim to empower you to rise stronger and better.
Hello, Philippines, and hello, world. So, welcome to Rise Together, where we go after to the life that you desire. My name is Coach Audrey.
Hello everyone! Sabado na naman. So welcome to Rise Together. Our goal here is to inspire those people na mga naliligaw at naghahanap ng advice sa usapang buhay, career, pag-ibig at adulting. My name is Coach Jack.
Ayan. So, thank you guys for introducing yourselves as well. So, right now, tonight, we have a very special guest. Can you say very special?
In the comment,
In
very
the comments.
special. Sige,
Very
comment tayo.
special guest. And in this episode, we will discuss factors of success and maybe our perceptions around it. We will be joined by one of the well-known transformative coaches, one of the best talaga tong coach na to dito sa Philippines, whom I had the pleasure to meet and undergo yung trilogy of personal development workshops that accompanied they have offer. So let's all welcome and give a digital round of applause to none other than Coach Russ Juson. Welcome, Coach Russ. Welcome.
Right. Maraming salamat, and it's an honor privilege for me to be here with you, with Audrey and Jack, and thank you so much for this wonderful privilege and opportunity to share with you your advocacy, your mission, and I'm one with you. So maraming salamat as early as now. Thank you.
Ayan. Thank you, Coach, for again being an inspiration to everyone. And kung sino man nasa live stream natin ngayon who's inspired by Coach Russ, share your experiences. Ano bang nangyari? Ano yung experience nyo with the workshops that IM Plus is offering? Ayan. So, let's not, parang wag natin paligoy-ligoyin pa, no, guys? So, today, we're gonna talk about characteristics of success. And before that, Coach, I believe ang vision mo, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, is to live in a world where everyone is self-assured and abundant. Tama ba, Coach?
Yeah, to cut it shorter, a world where everyone is celebrating abundance. Can you just imagine? No one is sick, everyone is healthy. Can you just imagine?
Yes.
No hate, all just love. Can you just imagine? No poverty, everyone's just prosperous, and just people are just celebrating life because life is truly abundant. So again, the vision really is a world where everyone celebrates abundance, and that's an exciting vision for me, and I guess we're aligned with that, and we're supporting people in really coming up with a new mindset of abundance versus scarcity.
Yeah, and we truly believe that ikaw nagturo sa akin, Coach, eh. And you can never outgive the universe. And it's really abundant, no? In whatever that we have right now, right? All right. So before we jump into it, I think Coach Audrey has a question for you.
Okay. Sige. So, my question, Coach Russ, is paano ka nagsimula sa pag-empower ng tao? Paano ka napunta sa ganitong work or career?
Kasi you have to take a look at on my history, no? Kumbaga, kung sa high school, I don't know if you have class prophecy in the JS prom. Do you have that? The seniors ball? Ito
Yes.
your valedictorian will speak about, okay, Audrey will be this and that, no? So I guess the class prophecy that was actually read by my best friend, okay, speaks a lot about if there's someone who is so unlikely to be very successful, who will have palpak in all of his life, that will be me. And you cannot even imagine I can be where I'm at right now when I was in high school. So basically, I just feel so blessed and really fortunate that an only company job that I had. No, I did not have a boss, but I had a mentor. So if there's one thing I will actually ask you guys to do, young people, I guess that's like what Jack said a while ago, that you want to empower young people. And if there's one advice that you are about to enter the workforce, okay, do not work for a company, do not work for a boss, work for a mentor. Why? I was so blessed because my mentor saw that he can develop me, and he actually gave me the first book, which is Psycho-Cybernetics. It's about mindset. And can you imagine, as early as 21 years old, I started learning about mindset. So my first job, and with one and only company called Philips, I started as a janitor, promodizer, and because of self-development, okay? Naging janitor ako, promodizer, hindi dahil mahirap yung pamilya namin, ko hindi, feeling ko lumalaki ako, bobo ako, kasi lahat ng grades ko talagang hindi maganda, no, kapito ko, pasang-awa. At the same time, I think one of the most scary part here is hindi ako marunong mag-English. Tapos yung self-esteem ko naka-attach sa itsura ko kasi all my life talagang ang laki ko, punong-puno ng pimples. So can you imagine the self-esteem I had was actually zero at the time. So, but because of the power of self-development, I was able to develop myself really, really well. And at the age 35, I felt in the area that where I was in terms of career, I was at the level 10, really making it happen in my career. However, despite of the success, at that time, I also felt very empty. Okay, I felt really frustrated because I was looking for something that was very important for me. So I was so blessed that I was able to meet a life coach and entered into a life coaching program. And that's where I started to understand na hindi pala ako nag-iisa. Okay? Everyone pala around me are like me, who is so unsure, don't know what to do with their life, and just doing things because they have to, not because they want to. No? So can you imagine all my life, between 0 to age 35, it was living for other people to prove so that I can be accepted, that people would like me. So I totally understand, wow, there's a lot of people like me that despite of and in spite of whatever achievement external I achieve, there's emptiness inside. And that's where I started to find out that it's about what's going on inside that will determine what you really want from the outside. So I think that allowed me to leave my full-time job. I left the corporate life just to make sure I help as much people as I can who is just like me, going through a lot. And I'm not saying my life is perfect right now, but I can safely say that somehow I have improved a lot, and I'm still working on myself and being able to empower maybe thousands of people already, transform their life because of, again, the word awareness. And if you were to ask me, Coach Audrey, at age 35, that's where I vowed myself to really be that message, that awareness is what we want to seek for. And I call this, that's really the awakening of you have all the answers inside, except you just have to find it for yourself. So that's how it started. Dami kong kwento, no?
Yes.
Si Audrey
So, thank you
nagno-notes
so
pa
much.
eh.
Siyempre,
Ganyan
kinesthetic
talaga.
ako, kinesthetic. Kinesthetic kasi ako eh. I learn by doing or by doing something. So, thank you so much, Coach Russ. Sobrang dami ko natutunan dyan.
So, again, so let's jump right into it na, coach, no. Siguro if coaches, if you want to share then your opinion, mga yung gusto nyo mag-share something about the topic or the question, feel free nga to share your thoughts as well. So the first na gusto ko itanong kay Coach Russ is, what comes into your mind, Coach Russ, when you hear the word success?
Okay, ano mo, nahatignan mo natin yung ano yung usual na alam nating success, di ba?
Yeah.
While I was growing up, I was told that for you to be successful, by path kang susundin, no? And what is this path all about, okay? Number 1, grade school, high school, university, and after university, apply for a job. The moment you look for a job, work hard, really hard, get promoted, and then you retire happy and successful. Okay, so that was the only path that I was told, and maybe for a lot of people, that's it. No, but on a personal note, I did all except that I wasn't happy, although I was earning. But for most people, 95% by age 60 or 65, 95% based on study, it's either they need to work because they have to, or they need to depend on somebody else. And that's really scary because 95% of again, the workforce are like that. And according to Gallup survey and even Fortune magazine, that 95% of the workforce are actually depressed because why they hate what they were doing. And again, moving forward at age 35, that's where I found out that I was actually running after success, running after money, running after recognition, but there's a lot of emptiness inside. So therefore, if you were to ask me, how do I define success right now? It's about being able to do something that's meaningful for you. something that will give you fuel, and I call that my massive transformative purpose, which means the purpose is not just to feed my family, the purpose is not just to own a house, travel the world, but the real here is how can I create heaven on earth? How can I create paradise while I'm still here? And because that's what I am focused in and able to my purpose, then no matter how difficult the world is, I will still be excited because I am inspired, because I'm living what I'm here for. Now, here's the most important part. You need to understand. There was a study of people who retired at 80, 83, 85. 93% of them, the reason why they actually kept their job until 85, 85, 93 is because they enjoy what they were doing. Why? Because it wasn't work at all. It was a calling. It was a mission. And I guess for me, if you want me to define what success for me right now is really being able to find my calling. What can I do to serve the humanity? Being able to grow in the vehicle I chose, being the best at it. But the most important part here is number 3, creating an impact. So that when I live here, the world becomes a better place. And I guess that's a career path or maybe a way of living that I want to share to young people right now. Okay, I'm not saying earning is bad. I'm not saying success is bad. What I'm saying here is why not go to the most important part, which is actually what I call fulfillment. That I feel good about myself because I'm doing something that's meaningful to me, that's important to me, and creating an impact to the world.
Alright. Thank you, coach. Grabe, sobrang malaman talaga every time nagsalita si coach. And yung nagustuhan ko yung sinasabi niyo na creating massive transformation and impacting talaga, making a good and impactful effect on the lives of the people you touch. And trust me, Coach Russ, you touched a lot of lives. And ako, for me, if I were to be asked, yung success sa akin talaga, similar to yours. Maybe it's because I really look up to you so much. You're one of my role models. And it's to live a life of purpose and significance. For me, that's it. Sobrang simple lang. So guys, for those who are watching, so comment on the comment box siguro kung ano yung pumapasok sa isip nyo. What comes into your mind when you hear the word success? Alright? So comment nyo and we'll read that in a while. So Coach Audrey, Coach Jack, anything you want to add?
Okay, grabe yung sagot ni Coach Russ, no? Solid na solid, kumbaga kompleto regatas na talaga eh. Pero pinaka nagustuhan ko doon yung sistema. It's a good reminder for everyone eh. Na yung grade school, high school, university, then you are going to find a job or Tigas or Makati kung saan man pwedeng maghanap ng trabaho, no? And then magsisiksikan tayo sa minimum na sahod kung pwede, magkano ba yung pwede natin matanggap na sahod. But mabuti sa atin, no? Marami akong kakilala na nakalabas na sila sa ganung sistema because hinahanap na nila kaagad yung purpose nila at a young age. At siguro isa na tayo sa mga yon. And the purpose of this video and the purpose na pag-invite natin kay Coach Russ is to encourage everyone na wag lang sumunod sa sistema or nakasanayan. Mag-isip din ng pwede pang mahanap natin sa buhay natin as our purpose and calling. And give bigger impact, no? Hindi lang sa family natin pero sa labas pa ng family natin. Yan.
Thank you. Ako, naalala ko yung kinuwento ni Coach Russ dati na parang umattend sa isang networking, so ang sabi ng speaker, magkano binabayad sa'yo ng company mo para kalimutan mo yung pangarap mo? Kasi pati ako, isa ako dun sa umuwi na may dalang package. So, ito yung isa kong question, follow-up question doon. Kasi nagustuhan ko yung confidence and certainty na ito yung gagawin ko sa life ko. Coach, paano naman namin malalaman kung ano yung one thing na yon? Kasi di ba, at least we have to be an expert on at least one thing. Paano namin malalaman yon kung yun na ba yun?
Very good question, no? And again, this is just my personal opinion because right now, I'm really making sure that my voice is being heard by not only by millennials, but as early as now, but by Gen Z. Also, FYI, I have a team of Gen Z right now. These are 17, 18, 19 years old. They're part of my team right now and really guiding them through. No, how would you know? I really don't know. But the most important part here is the world is right now open to a lot of things. So if I were you, Audrey, okay, or people who still don't know what they want, maybe number one, find a company or an organization or individual who you feel what they do and their mission is appealing to you. Parang, wow, gusto ko yan. Na-excite ako sa kanya. Okay? So again, if it's appealing to you, you like it, you got excited. So which means, again, find an organization, find a company, find an individual that you are excited with what they're doing. Okay? Number two, now you identify what excites you, what you can resonate and what you feel important to you as well. Then find means and ways to connect with these people, to connect with this organization, with this company, and know more of, and then add value to them. Why? Because when you add value to them, they will actually put you in their space. Okay, the moment you are in their space, okay, again, especially when you're very young, my suggestion here is really work as an intern, even if you're not being paid. But these people do have what you want. This company do have what you want. Then you get to learn and grow and expand yourself. Now, the most important part here is you make sure that once you are there and you don't find it meaningful, please give yourself opportunity to leave, because I don't want you to be trapped into something that because it's working for now, but you know it's not going to work for the future, then leave. Why? Because life is a continuously working and working. And I mean, I did not arrive where I am right now, Audrey, but it was a series of a lot of experimentation, failure, disappointment, until I found what I was looking for in terms of my purpose. Now, if there's one thing I'm very afraid of every time I hear, especially mentors say, follow your passion. No? What if ang passion ni Brian is basketball, tapos ang height niya 4'11"? Patay tayo dyan, right? So again, it's not about follow your passion, but it's really follow what's important, what's meaningful, what's exciting for you. Then experiment and look for certain means and ways. And I would always say that your work is not actually your work. I will repeat that. Whatever you're doing, financial advisors or unit managers, that is not really your work. Your work here is your personal development, personal mastery, and I call that your personal evolution. Because when you mastered yourself, you develop yourself, you evolve yourself to be the best version of who you are, then you express that with whatever you are doing, then whatever you are doing will just expand, will just grow, and you don't have to run after success, because money, recruits, and success will run after you simply because you have evolved yourself to the greatest version of the grandest vision of who you truly are. I don't know if that made sense to you, Audrey, and I don't really have an answer to that, but offhand, that's what I thought about. And if I'm not clear, resonate with people, organization, company, find out more, dip yourself into it. How can you slide in and be there? And then the moment you start, yeah, I'm in love with this, then that can now be your mission. Then that can be your purpose. And then your passion can just be expressed around it. I mean, we are all in the insurance, right? Now, how many of you here, when you were a little child, you say, paglaki ko, gusto ko maging insurance agent. Meron bang ganyan? Wala.
Hindi ko nga alam yung insurance agent dati.
Diba? Ba't kayo nandito? Now, na-in-love kayo, yes? Why? Because, yeah, maybe you resonated to the people who invited you.
That's true.
And maybe it's no longer about that, but it's about being able to see what you can do to support other people. And then this is where you now start to grow and expand yourself. So it's never about it's planted in you, but it's about you finding it out. I mean, you have until age 38 to find out. That's based on study.
Hanggang 38. Okay.
Until age 38, no? So don't worry, there's only one Mark Zuckerberg in the world. He's the outlier, but again, based on study, you have until age 38 to find out. At the end of the day, it's about how you expose yourself to a bigger world than your world today.
Wow, I love that, coach. And yung kanina mine-mention nyo na, it's parang bigger than yourself. And hanap ka talaga ng organization, let's say an organization that is aligned with your values and what you believe in, di ba? Inhalin tulad yan sa bus, no? So, kunyari, ako, I'm a leader and meron akong bus. Tapos nagdadrive ako along EDSA, di ba? So from North Ave papunta ng Ortigas, let's say, galing ako North Ave. On the parang station, magsakay ako. Pero kung yung tao hindi naman niya pupuntahan yung Ortigas, hindi sasakay 'yan, 'di ba? Kasi hindi yun yung vision niya, eh. Hindi niya nakikita sarili niya to go there, 'no? So, as leaders, it's our job as well to show itong mga tao na 'to, what do we believe in, what do we stand for, ano yung mga values that we stand for, and so that they will be inspired to be part of the journey. No, itong success journey natin that we're talking about right now. So, Coach Russ, when we talk about success nga again, paano ba natin mini-measure? How do we measure it? What are the success indicators para sa'yo?
Ako, personally, again, Simon Sinek, there's infinite game and there's finite game. For me, again, maraming magre-react dito, maraming ayaw sa sasabihin ko. But I don't measure success by the numbers. I measure success by the amount of improvement I have on a day-to-day basis. In fact, I always tell to the people who are following me, the minimum measure of success for me is do not be a burden to anyone. That's a minimum. I mean, what does it mean? If you are part of the team, contribute. Wag naman mag-zero, right? If you're part of the team, be just, like the page, respond a little, respect, and all of that. That's the minimum. And if you do that, if you're part of my team, I will acknowledge you that you're very successful. That's my minimum measure. Okay. The second measure here is when you get out of that, the struggling stage, I say. Okay. The second measure here is be an example by giving what you're supposed to give for you, being an inspiration to people. And the third for me is being able to also teach others how you got to where you are, which means being able to also surround yourself with people who you can grow. And lastly, being able to duplicate yourself, duplicate most leadership. And basically, again, it's never about the money. It's never about, again, the awards, but it's about the fulfillment that I feel simply because I have transformed myself better than yesterday. And being able to transform others as well. And you just don't know how that feels right. And in the end, even if you have all the money in the world, but if you feel empty, you will still feel broke. Even if you have all the success and the awards in the world, but if I don't have that fulfillment, I still feel empty. And the way I see it on a personal note, no, your coach posted something today. Okay, the question was, what's most important to you? And for me personally, it's feeling good about myself when I am by myself. Again, I will repeat that: feeling good about myself when I am by myself. So which means success is not never external, but it's the internal thing that I vibrate as to who I am. And because I vibrate that on a day-to-day basis, moment-to-moment basis, whatever I want will just run after me. No? So as you may know, I'm also in a putting up team. Okay, I just recruited 5 people maybe on my first year. Right now, it's more than 200 without recruiting. Okay, I never sell, people just buy. Why? Because again, it's coming in from internal and it will just explode external. And if this is a lifestyle you are actually running after and something that has been, a lifestyle for you, the most beautiful part here is you do nothing and you will have everything. Is that nice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I will repeat that. You
Yes.
do nothing and you will have everything.
It feels
Limitless.
too good to be true for others, pero promise, if you are in the space ni Coach Russ, talagang minsan naisip ko, paano kaya nagagawa ni Coach Russ yun? So, uh, one thing as well na nakuha ko kasi Coach Russ, I had the privilege to sit in on one of your unit meetings, no? And grabe talaga the energy, the desire na hindi tayo, let's not be results driven. Let's be growth oriented individuals. And yung sinabi ni coach na just contribute. If you're on a struggling stage right now, the least you can do is to contribute. Ganun talaga yung nakita ko, naramdaman ko. And people are so crazy to just sila eh. It's them. They're focusing on themselves. And I guess that's the highlight nila Coach Russ. The importance na when we chase these results and mapufrustrate tayo kasi we're not getting the results that we expect. 'Di ba? But when it's bigger than you, there is the growth, the growth talaga ng sarili mo. Then it's
I,
much
I,
more fulfilling.
I will tell you, no, in the biggest problem of organization right now, again, this is according to Gallup, is number one, people are disengaged. In fact,
Yes.
70 to 80% they're disengaged. No, wag na tayo tumayo, no. Your participation ratio of a lot of of agency is between 20%. So that's 80% non-productive. Okay, retention, people come and go. People are not glued with the work. Okay. And last but not the least is the level of productivity. It's very low. Why? Because the old style of management, the old style of leadership, again, a lot of people, especially coming from traditional mindset, will hate what I say, is about treating people like numbers, treating people like, I mean, who wouldn't want to have great sales? So you don't have to push on my face na kulang pa ako, kulang pa ako, kulang pa ako. Kasi kung meron yan, hindi ka naman itatago. Tama ba? Right? So, which means if I do that, people will work by desperation. I want to work by inspiration. That's why I don't want to push myself and everyone else of the numbers, of the production, and all of this stuff. It's because if I'm excited, I'm inspired, you don't have to tell me. I'll just bring it on. And that's what's going on in my team. That's what's going on in my area. I have 3 or 4 other things that I'm doing in my life right now. Okay. The most exciting part here is everyone is self-managed, which is no need to monitor, no need to police because they know their job. And if they're not doing their job, they will be held accountable. Excuse me, you promise, Audrey, once you will be supporting us every month. What's going on? It's 3rd week already. It's either rise above or leave because we want you to be with us. Okay? Self-managed, self-motivated, self-motivated, which means you don't have to yell at them, you don't have to give them prizes because the motivation is intrinsic, internal. And last but not least, the most exciting part here is self-sustained. They stay with you, they retain simply because they're never measured by numbers. We don't look at them with numbers. We look at them as human being working on themselves, transforming themselves, feeling good about themselves, not feeling shitty because they did not meet what they declared, what they say they will do. No? And that's where the scary part, when you start declaring and you don't meet it every year, what happens to your self-esteem?
Talaga parang ano, no? You're gonna collect evidences proving pa na, 'di ba? You're not fulfilled in a way in that case. All right. So talking about nakuha ko din accountability, no? So let's move to on the next siguro na topic, which is professional and personal goal setting. And talaga when it comes to accountability, ayan. So if you've underwent discovery, which is the first level, that's really the baby workshop talaga ng IM Plus, and it's more of the awareness, breakthrough, wag na natin pag-usapan. Pero it's really hindi ko ma-explain, but it's peeling off lahat ng excuses.
Yes.
Breakthrough. Then abundance, yan. Yan ay structure. So if I'm talking about the workshops ng IM Plus kasi sobrang na-appreciate ko, and abundance is about building a structure around who you are and being accountable. So meron kang accountability, right? So Coach Russ, when we talk about professional and personal goal setting, paano mo ba 'to ginagawa, Coach?
Ako kasi I'm at the level right now na hindi na ako nag-goal setting. Okay, so
Limitless.
let's take a look at the different phases of, let's say, an entrepreneur na lang. Okay lang ba 'yon?
Yes.
Yes.
The first stage of entrepreneur is what we call the struggling stage. Struggling, why? Because you're new, you don't know anything, you're still solo, everything is panicking, and struggling stage is a stage wherein your effort is level 10, your income is level 1. You have to understand it's a process that you need to undergo because why? You're starting. You don't know what you don't know, right? And at the end of the day, your only job with level 1 is to make sure that whatever chosen field you have, okay, you want to work on yourself to become a professional around this. When I say professional, you have the necessary knowledge, necessary skills, and more than that, necessary experience for you to perform what you need to perform in making this task. Is this making sense? Okay. Now, the moment you start growing yourself in this career from struggling stage, you now move to stability. Okay, wherein your effort is maybe at a level 7, your income is at a level 3. So medyo effort ka pa rin, mas maraming mataas, but yung income di pa nakita. Why? Because if you want to really acquire whatever you want, you must take a look at on how you can expand yourself. Now, this is where it gets tricky because a lot of people who are at the business like what you guys are doing, they're just in the professional development. The trouble with professional development is the moment you just develop yourself professionally, the moment you are not doing this, you forget about the world. When you want to move to the next level, my suggestion really is for you to start taking a look at on personal development. So you have to match professional development with personal development. Okay. Now, in personal development, what are the different tools? Okay. Number one, okay, you will have to master the goal setting. But the goal setting doesn't only, touch income. It must be physical, which is health. Why? Because energy is important, right? Likability is important. Number two, relationship goal. Very important. That should be part of your goal. And number three is not income goal, but it's actually a growth goal so that I can increase my income. So those are the three things. And it's never about the goal again, Brian, but it's about what practices will I do on a day-to-day basis so I can actually reset, reframe, and reprogram my old habits. Because in the struggling stage, and a lot of people are in the struggling stage up until now, they're in the career for the past 10, 15, 20 years, they're still struggling. Why? Because the only tool that they use is two things, hard work and finish your school. But in the stability stage is not only hard work towards the work, but you work harder on yourself, developing yourself, growing yourself through the goals and the tools. What are the tools that we're talking about here? Affirmation, clearing, meditation, visualization, prayer, and of course, a lot of taking time out to develop yourself as a personal person being rather than just one area, which is professional. Now, when you do that, you become very attractive. And when you're attractive, people are drawn to you. People like to be with you. People feel you. People like you. Then you now start developing them to be like you. Right? When you start developing them to be like you, let's say you have 10 Audreys around you. What will happen to your organization, Audrey?
Skyrocket.
Yeah. Now you move now to the next level, which is from stability, move to success. Why? With success, you are maybe at a level 3 effort, but the income right now is at level 7. Which means yung effort mo, petex ka na lang, okay? But yung income mo pumapasok na. Bakit? Because you now have transformed yourself to a higher being and then you transform others to be like you, then it expands your business. Is this making sense? Now, the most exciting part here, Jack, is these people who you develop, don't just develop them to be professional, but also develop them to be leaders who can actually bring in people to your organization. Did that make sense? And the moment they start taking leadership position in a very attractive way, they will bring in people in their circle. Then you have more people in your organization. Then from success, you now move to significant. Now, sa significance, this is a time wherein you no longer recruit because people are coming into you, nor sell because sales are coming into you. It's something that we express as an abundance of supply of what's going on. Why? Because you have duplicated yourself to as many people as you can. Okay, and again, yes, I do not set goals, but I set intention. When I say set intention, by the end of the year, this is how I see it. But the only goal I will actually have, Brian, if this is your question, is what do I do on a day-to-day basis
Yeah.
so I
So,
can actually hit what I want by the end of the year. Okay, remember Brian, last year I was your head coach,
yes, coach.
right? And I said last year, my intention last year by the end of December 31, I will be releasing 20 pounds. Okay, so I started May, June, July. I released 35 pounds. Why? My goal was just to do what I'm supposed to do on a day-to-day basis. Then the result just followed.
Parang it's so much effortless on your part to do it because it becomes who you are already. The I guess you can share, coach, yung tools and what do you use on a daily basis for you to set yourself up to win? No, set yourself up for success.
That's what you call your daily practices.
Yeah.
Now, if I ask you if you wanna have six packs abs, what do you do on a daily routine? Daily, I mean, you have to start working on it on a day-to-day basis. Don't just wait for deadline. I mean, at the end of the day, still with again organization, don't just set goals for awards. Set goals every day. What do you need to do on a day-to-day basis? And these are some. I mean, there's a new tool right now. No, last year my tool was keto. Okay, so which and then I turned to be a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Then right now in the pandemic, 1 meal a day. Of course, I never let go of my HIIT or Tabata. I never let go of my yoga. And of course, at age
Oh,
49,
Sexy ni Coach, oh.
49 years
Wow.
old.
yeah.
But it did not happen just because I set goal. It happened because every day I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. That's it. Period. Then it becomes now a habit. Then I don't let go of. Then it becomes who I am.
Ganda na.
Okay, so kausapin ko lang muna yung mga viewers natin. So, if you're learning, type I'm learning. And as a thank you para dito sa session na to, can you share this post para mas makatulong pa tayo sa mas maraming tao? Okay lang ba yun, guys? Awesome. Okay. Bye.
All right. Okay. So, coach, really appreciate everything na share nyo so far. And I know a lot of people are looking up to you, and hopefully ang dami nating na-inspired tonight. And if you are inspired, kindly comment on the chat box kung ano yung specific na takeaway nyo tonight.
Yes. Also, if you have question for Coach Russ, type niyo na ngayon. May chance pa tayo magtanong.
Oo,
For a
may
few
chance pa.
minutes. Okay, sige.
Ayan. So, by the way, shout out lang kay Ana Medina Cruz. Ang sabi niya kanina when we are talking about the definition of success, yung not chasing money, sabi niya, fame or recognition, fulfillment and feeling complete. Yun daw ang kanyang definition of success. Thank you, Ana, for sharing.
Mm-mm.
Ayan. So, I think William is also here. Hi, Will. Kasama
Will.
namin sa Abundance.
I miss you, Will.
Ayan. So, Coach, for those people, no, tingin mo ano kaya yung mga challenges that they may face along the journey? And sabi nyo nga, may four phases tayo, yung struggling, stability, success, and significance, no? For those people who are struggling and maybe finding their bearings pa before being stable enough, what do you think na the challenges na pwede nilang maharap and what can they do to address it?
Okay, the biggest challenge right now, especially with the situation with this COVID thing, is again depression.
Mm.
Okay, negativity, and a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, a lot of worry. What will happen? What if hanggang third quarter pa ito next year? What's gonna happen to my life? Okay, and I guess that's the first thing you might wanna start guarding yourself by taking a look at on what information are you exposed with. So the first thing that I would really recommend, guys, is for you to stop watching the news, for you to stop looking at your Facebook and unfollow all the things that's making you feel bad, making you feel doubtful, making you feel worried or really be in a space of depression. Okay? So that's number one. Watch what you watch. Watch who you listen to. Watch what you put into your mind. That's number one. Okay? Number two, okay? Being able also to watch how you feel on a day-to-day basis. Because again, emotions are great, except that we all have our moods. Okay? And the mood will set actually the context of our life. So if your emotion is that of, sadness, that of depression, that of anxiety, that might stay long for you. So my suggestion really is for you to start creating a practice of, again, clearing your mind every day, clearing your heart every day. But more than that, the most exciting practice that hopefully becomes real for you guys is actually gratitude practice. And that's you now training your heart. The first one is training your mind, information that's coming in. Number two, training your heart, how you feel. And hopefully from fear, let's move to gratitude. Okay? And last but not the least, for me, this is the most important. Number three is what we call your theory of space. Who you surround yourself with, who you are with on a day-to-day basis, really will create a direct impact. Okay? And again, if you belong to a group wherein they would always say, problema to, walang mangyayari, left and right, then it will be true because that's what you hear every day. No, and if there's one thing I'm really excited by in our space since the lockdown, okay, we're actually creating one record breaking after another record breaking during the COVID because we all believe as a team that we are bigger and we are better and we are actually excited with the opportunity that is available because of this COVID. And it happened based on result. Why? Because we all think the same. Whereas I visit other group and they're telling me we're dropped by 60, 70%, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, because that's what you guys allow in your team. So again, number one, how you train your mind, which is what you put into your mind. Number two, how you train your heart. How do you want to feel on a day-to-day basis? Number three, who you surround yourself with. That's very important.
Okay. Okay, gusto ko mag-thank you kay Coach kasi naalala ko dati, napag-usapan tong theory of space or the environment, 55% kaya siya ng success. So, si Coach na siya nag-inspire sa akin to move out dun sa condo ko na tigpa 4K. so ngayon, Coach, ayan, nandito ako ngayon sa DMCI. Better, way, way better. Wala na akong, at least, in hindsight, tama, kasi nagkaroon ng pandemic, at least safe ako. Wala akong kasama na papasok na galing siya sa labas. So ngayon, at least dito maganda, payaman yung mga kapitbahay ko. And
yeah, notice how do you feel? You have a plant up behind, you have a really nice background, you feel good. Is that abundance?
Yes, Coach. I'm so happy. More than,
again,
far better than last
more
year.
than the real money, Audrey, it's actually how you feel. Because I know a lot of people have so much money, but they feel shitty inside. It's
yes.
not about the external, but it's how I feel. So, again, if you're not happy with your surrounding, try to fix it.
Yes.
Those will make you excited and happy every day. Because I don't want you to work by desperation. I want you to work by inspiration.
Yes.
That I'm excited every day because, wow, my surrounding is clear. My surrounding is exciting.
Yeah. Kahapon lang, nag-swimming ako. Ganun kaganda. So, sobrang nakakatakot kasi talaga to get out of your comfort zone. Na-experience ko yan kasi from renta na 4,000, ngayon monthly cost ko for this is at least 18. So, di ko alam ko ilang times yun. Hindi pa rin siya bonggang-bongga, pero at least times 4.
But Audrey,
Yeah,
if you will expand your consciousness to times 4,
Yes! 400% or 300. Yeah, so times 4.
why? I mean, seriously,
Yes,
it's
yes.
gonna expand your consciousness, and that's what we're talking about. Being able to just experience yourself, something different, something that I feel, something that I like, and wow. And then you're gonna expand and expand and expand and expand.
Yes. Yun yung pinaka gusto ko talaga dito kapag kausap si Coach Ross, kailangan may action plan ako after. So ngayon meron ako nasulat, I have to contact one person, ma-add ko sa kanya. Kasi I'm really inspired by him. So, thank you so much, Coach Ross.
For Curative Space, if you want people who are very successful, you want to be in their space, okay? My suggestion, you find means and ways to add value to them so they can put you into your space. Because if you don't add value to them, I call that user social climber.
Social climber. Okay. May question si Jack.
Easy
Yeah.
for me to say yes. Okay, why was it easy for me to say yes to Brian? When he said, Coach Russ, pwede ka ba? Go. Why? Because Brian is contributing so much to me. He created so much content for my seminar. He's this, and that. Yesterday, he did something for me. I mean, he's never paid to do this, but he's contributing so much to me. It's the same thing. Do you have people who are in high network that you like?
Yes.
Add value to them. Padala mo ng suka, padala mo ng puto kutsinta. Kausapin mo.
Sige. Papadalan ko kayo lahat.
Out of love.
Padalan.
Yeah. So talking about Tira's space, Coach Russ, no? I think Coach Jack has something to ask you.
Yun, no, napakaganda ng tatlong bagay na dineliver ni Coach Russ sa atin. And
I love
to
you,
add,
Coach.
to add lang dun sa gratitude practice, dati hindi ko yung ginagawa eh. Pero ginagawa ko siya lately, especially nitong pandemic. Kasi, di ba, we want to count our blessings every day, kahit na yung mga pinakamaliliit na bagay. And after that, believe me, after 10 minutes of writing, kahit saan man, iPad or sa papel, you will feel better eh. Halimbawa, may nangyaring masama or yung day mo hindi nagsisimula ng maganda or naaayon sa perspective mo, you just need to count your blessings. And that's a good practice. And Coach Russ, I have a very good question here. Sino po ba yung nilook up yung tao or role model sa inyo before kayo mapunta sa sitwasyon nyo ngayon?
Ako, madami yan.
Yan. Baka pwede namin maging reference din eh.
Umiiyak yung pusa ko, gustong lumabas sandali.
Tayo muna magchismisan, guys. Yun. Meron na ba kayong action plan? Action plan after this? Kasi mawala ng sense to kung wala tayong gagawin after. Tama. Magiging parang normal na seminar lang, nakalimutan mo na sinabi ng speaker. Pag walang action plan.
Yeah. Take action, guys.
Ayan si Coach.
Ayan.
Okay, hayaan nyo na maingay siya. Ewan ko ba kailangan yata siya sa akin. Say hi to our guests and our friends. This is Lupita.
Hi, Dupita.
Si Tomaso, Coach.
Tomaso is outside. I have 6 cats actually. Anyway, the boss that I told you, his name is Jun Hugus. I met him at 21 years old. I learned 2 things from him. Number 1 is actually self-development. Okay, because he was the first vice president of the company where I work with, which is an underdog, but he was able to rise up from above because of the power of self-development. And I learned that from him. I was so blessed around it. Okay. But not only that, he also taught me the power of building relationship by adding value. So that's where I learned it. Okay. Second, I have another boss. His name is Jane De Los Santos. When I was still working in Philips, she taught me about commitment and personal responsibility. Okay. Since when you are starting, pwede kang bulyaw-bulyawan eh, di ba? And what I learned from her was never say I don't know, but say
I will get back.
I will find out and I will get back to you. So doon ako natutong maging madiskarte, okay? At higit sa lahat, bawal ang rason. Pag nagrason ka dito, resign. So natutunan ko yun at early on stage. So I guess those were my and last but not the least, when I was starting my career, I had our dean in the university. She was very unconventional. She was madre, but she was not the typical madre na kinakatakutan, but she was actually somebody who I feel really believed in me and my capability, who allowed me to create vision boards as early as now. So again, those were some of the few. And then as time goes by, I have every John Maxwell, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, all of these big gurus,
Vision Lakiani.
Vishen Lakiani right now, all of these big gurus, I do a lot of mentoring. But if I totally understand my leadership principle, I got it from John Maxwell a lot. Okay, personal principle is Zig Ziglar. Those were the authors that I devoured myself when I was early 20s. That gave me a lot of influence right now in leading people and in managing my business.
Thank you po, Coach Russ, sa mga information na bigay niyo sa amin. Go, Brian.
Ayan. So, siguro last na question na lang, Coach Russ, no, before we end this, no. Siyempre marami po kayong people who you look up to and role model. What do you think successful people have in terms of quality? No? So, yung mga qualities that successful people possesses. Ayan.
Okay, I always say number one, okay, of course, the entry level has to be the level of charisma or likability. Right? Kasi di ba, parang kahit gaano ka kagaling, pero yung itsura mo hindi naman kaakit-akit, visit, hindi nag-aayos, hindi ka pa rin attracted. No? So which means if you wanna, step into your leadership game, you must be very likable. Are we clear? So which means physically, I'm not saying you have to be sexy and hot, but at least the way you start taking a look at that is actually the stand of what I call self-assured. Sa isang tingin ko palang, wow, I can trust this person. Okay, that's number one. Now, however, likability is useless not unless you also have number two, the level of connectability, which means you feel this person's heart. When he speaks, you can feel there's a level of connection. And for me, the quality around that is vulnerability. The ability to be real, the ability to speak the truth, and the ability to also be able to just show their weaknesses. Okay, and they don't have all the answers, the ability to help. And I can trust that kind of leader. And if I'm a leader who I can actually be honest and be real around it, then that's very good. But last but not the least is what we call people who are actually reliable. Okay, and reliability is about three things. Okay, number one, character, which means when you say character, it's about taking a look at on how integrity plays in this person's life. But character is useless if you don't have competence. Klaro ba? Character is useless if you don't have competence, which means kailangan magaling ka rin at marunong ka doon sa ginagawa ninyo. Okay? But character and competence is useless if you don't have the last C, which is what I call consistency. And the consistency is about how you show up in every aspect of your life. Like I don't know, Brian, did you see my consistency in calling you out in our bolt in this afternoon?
Yes, Coach.
So which means my leadership is not an on and off. My leadership is whenever I am, whatever I do, it's always on. Which means mangingialam at mangingialam ako when I am at that space, because that's self-assurance. That I'm here on a purpose, and my purpose here is to help you transform yourself so that you move yourself to the next level. That's what leadership is all about for me.
Alright, grabe. I know marami pa tayong questions and maybe yung mga nanonood, dami pang gusto malaman, but that's all the time that we have. It's already 8 p.m. And before we end this live stream, remind lang namin, please don't forget to like our page, Rise Together, and all of our socials on Instagram and YouTube. And click see first on Facebook to get notified on our next live stream. So, again, let's wrap things up, guys. Thank you, Coach Russ, for being here. Any parting words, Coach Russ?
Of course, thank you also, Audrey, Jack, and Bri. Maraming salamat for having me here on your first episode. No? So, na-divergenize ko yung inyong show. Parting words, just live your life giving it away,
Giving it away.
which means look for every opportunity to serve, to give, and always be in purpose of serving humanity.
Alright. Thank you, Coach
That's
Russ.
it.
Again, this is Coach Brian reminding you that wherever you are right now, it's preparing you for a better life ahead. So let's all rise up. Kita tayo next week, Saturday. Coach Audrey, go.
Hi guys, so Coach Audrey here. Tandaan, version 1 is always better than version none. Jack, Coach Jack.
Yes, and ikaw lang ang nag-limit sa sarili mo. Piliin mo laging magpatuloy kasi mindset is everything. Again, this is Coach Jack reminding you that we have different stories to tell. Huwag may kumpara ang page 1 mo sa page 100 ng iba. Grind, grow, and go beyond your limits. Let's all rise up. Thank
Yan.
you, guys.
So see you guys next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. Ingat kayo. Have a nice evening.